Urgent, G-Men fan, look at what just happened. Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we bring you daily videos with the latest Big Blue news, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Giants whispers and meetings hint at drafting fast rising. QB, the New York Giants sent more than a dozen representatives to the Colorado NFL Showcase, which was conducted primarily to show off the right arm of Shedeur Sanders. It appears as though the Giants were there more to see and talk to wide receiver defensive back Travis Hunter, who also happened to win the Heisman Trophy Award last season. According to NFL Network's Ian Rappaport, the Giants have their eye on another quarterback for outside of their third pick. There are meetings, there are hints, they are all over Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart. The Steelers, Saints, and Browns join them as having shown the most interest in Dart. Dart is clearly not going to be selected with the second or third pick by the Browns or the Giants, but he should be around when the Saints pick at 9, although that also seems a bit early. Pittsburgh, at 21, seems like a more practical landing spot for Dart. Should the Rebel fall to the second round, the Giants should take him with their second-round pick. He would be great to pair with Travis Hunter, who they should take with their first-round pick. Dart shot up the draft board since the Combine. He was viewed as a third- or fourth-round selection, but now has been mentioned as high as a late first-round selection. We could see the Steelers taking him at 21 as opposed to waiting to see if he is available in the second round. The Steelers also might look to trade up a few spots to grab him in the first round, depending on the status of their quarterback position. If the Giants, who already have Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston in the fold as vet newcomers, believe that is going to happen, they will have to use some assets to trade back into the first round and overspend a little to get their man. Pausing this news just to say that if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest Big Blue news to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks. Now let's get back to the news. Browns Giants have inquired about trading. For number 1 pick, Titans never considered Sam Darnold, Aaron Rodgers. The Browns and Giants, both still in need of a long-term quarterback despite off-season bridge additions, have inquired about trading up with the Titans to obtain the number 1 overall pick in this month's draft, per Jeff Howe of The Athletic subscription required. We had previously heard Tennessee was fielding calls on that front, and it only makes sense that Cleveland, which presently holds the number 2 overall pick, and New York number 3 would at least see what it would take to make a swap and put themselves in position to land Miami quarterback Cam Ward, the top QB in the 2025 class. Less than 2 months ago, many around the league believed the rebuilding Titans would look to trade down, and the Giants were arguably the team most connected to a possible move up the board. The Browns, meanwhile, have been more closely linked to a Kirk Cousins pursuit than a trade for the number 1 selection, with GM Andrew Berry recently confirming he is unlikely to swing a deal with Tennessee. Interestingly, Howe says the Titans have not even determined what sort of compensation they would require to move down the board, which further strengthens the prevailing notion that they will select Ward with the top pick. And, contrary to pre-free agency rumors on the matter, Howe says Tennessee never got involved in the Sam Darnold sweepstakes, and he confirms the same is true of Aaron Rodgers. Of course, that represents yet another sign that Ward is Nashville-bound. Recent reporting has pegged Cleveland as the likely destination for two-way phenom Travis Hunter, and the Giants, who have long been intrigued by Hunter's collegiate teammate, quarterback Shedeur Sanders, would thus be in position to nab the polarizing passer. That would align with the belief that Big Blue is praying Cleveland takes a non-QB like Hunter so that Sanders will fall to number 3. On the other hand, New York is said to be convinced Cleveland its professed comfort in having Kenny Pickett assume QB1 duties notwithstanding will be the team to take Sanders. The Browns did indeed plan a private workout for Sanders, and according to Howe, the Giants will also meet again with the second-generation star prior to the draft. With Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston having been added to the QB room in free agency, and with Wilson seemingly in the driver's seat to serve as the starting quarterback regardless of how the draft unfolds, Giants GM Joe Schoen and H.C. Bryan Daboll, who are both clinging to their jobs, may prefer to use the number 3 pick on a player who can help the team win now rather than a high-upside project like Sanders. To that end, one team picking in the top 10 has told Howe that New York seems to be cooling on the idea of adding a signal caller with its top draft choice. Considering the Browns-Hunter connections that have recently emerged supported by Diana Rossini of The Athletic, who says she no longer believes Cleveland will take a QB video link, Howe says if the Giants do not select Sanders with the number 3 pick, they would likely take Penn State pass rusher Abdul Carter, assuming Ward and Hunter are off the board by that time. Carter is seen as one of the draft's best all-around prospects, and New York is one of the 4 clubs along with the Titans, Browns, and Patriots that secured a visit with him. That said, as our Sam Robinson noted when it became clear the Giants would host Carter, they are the team on Carter's itinerary that would seemingly need him the least, given the presence of Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau. Carter is nonetheless a blue-chip talent, and if Hunter is gone by the time the Giants are on the clock, and if New York does not believe Sanders represents the best player available at number 3, there is logic in nabbing the Penn State product. Or if they feel Carter is not a great fit, the Giants could trade down themselves in an effort to collect more draft capital. Giants show interest in very specific type of RB to pair with Tyrone Tracy Jr. Ahead of the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Giants have been looking into more physical running backs that can help 2024 draft pick Tyrone Tracy Jr. carry the early download, namely Ohio State's Quinshon Judkins and Oklahoma State's Ollie Gordon II. On April 4th, Fox Sports NFL insider Jordan Schultz named the Giants as one of Judkins' various top 30 visits. Among the other potential suitors were the bitter NFC East rival Dallas Cowboys. A fast-rising prospect in a deep RB class, Schultz noted regarding Judkins. He also added a quote from a scout who said, "Judkins is a pretty complete player. Trusts. His eyes finishes every run and catches passes with ease. The 4.48 40-yard dash should really help him. He's not a guy who needs to come off the field much." There was another more under-Theradar top 30 report from April 4th that confirmed Big Blue could be targeting a specific type of ball carrier. However, as the Draft Network's Ryan Fowler relayed that the Giants will host Oklahoma State RB Ollie Gordon. 2. Fowler described Gordon as a dynamic ball carrier who has had an excellent pre-draft process and remains one of the premier RBs in a loaded class. Potential Giants NFL draft targets Quinshon Judkins, Ollie Gordon both thrive in contact situations, complement Tyrone Tracy. If you watch both Judkins and Gordon play, they're similar in one obvious way. Both thrive as contact absorbers who can break tackles and gain tough yardage. Judkins is wired and built for a heavier carry count and short yardage success, NFL Network draft expert Lance Zierlein scouted. Detailing he runs with good burst inside but is more collision-based than wiggle-oriented when maneuvering through the lane. Zierlein cited prototypical size, aggression, and play strength as Judkins' top strength as a runner. He also referred to the Ohio State product as a touchdown monster who runs with NFL-caliber physicality and falls forward as a finisher. Gordon looks a little different running the football stylistically, but he serves a similar purpose as Judkins. While scouting the Oklahoma State star, Zierlein began by calling him a big workload back with a skill set that requires a physical downhill run scheme. When he gets going downhill, he becomes a battering ram, slamming through tackles and adding tough yards after contact, the analyst continued. Gordon is another red zone threat too, like Judkins, and he was credited with plus tackle-breaking ability. Both potential bell cow RBs would pair really well with a slasher and plus change of pace back like Tracy. Devin Singletary is likely playing out his final year with Giants. If the Giants draft a runner like Judkins or Gordon, the biggest losers would be Devin Singletary and Eric Gray. The latter would be hard-pressed to make the 53-man roster, while Singletary could be playing out his final season with NYG either way. According to Over the Cap, the Giants can save $25 million by releasing Singletary next offseason. They are able to make this move prior to June Bird as well, which helps with free agency. If Gray or 2024 UDFA Dante Miller were to impress this summer, the Giants could theoretically part ways with Singletary ahead of Week 1. A post-June for his release would only save Big Blue $5 million in 2025. But they could also shop the veteran via trade. As a productive player with a manageable salary, it's possible someone might want Singletary for a conditional draft pick. From a Giants perspective, any trade would mostly be a salary dump. Per OTC, trading Singletary after June 1st would save a helpful $5 million in cap space. And now, G-Men fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know this, but your opinion matters a lot for Big Blue. I'll be back any moment with more Big Blue news. Jets, 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 let's go Giants.